Welcome to this explainer. We're diving right into a seriously vibrant journey through California's top 10 destinations. But look, we're not just doing a standard countdown list today. We're transforming these spots into a wild exploration of extreme geographical contrasts. I mean, from the absolute heart of the film industry to completely untouched rugged wilderness, it's an incredibly eclectic state. It basically guarantees a well-rounded vacation. So let's see exactly why the Golden State pulls in travelers from all over the globe every single day of the year. So here's our roadmap for this journey. We're going to break this down into 4 distinct biomes, starting out with deserts, heat and glamour, then moving into iconic coastal metropolises, followed by coastal charm and rugged beauty, and finally we'll head way up into the Sierra Nevadas alpine wonders. All right, Section 1, deserts, heat and glamour. This is where the absolute harshest extremes of nature are sitting right next door to star-studded luxury. Just to give you an idea of the extremes we're talking about here, 134 degrees Fahrenheit, Death Valley, which sits right inside the massive 3 million-acre Mojave Desert wilderness, recorded that completely sizzling temperature back in July 1936. And get this, to this day, it still stands as the highest temperature ever recorded anywhere in the world. No joke, it's the driest, lowest place in North America, and during the summer, daytime temps routinely blow right past 120 degrees. But despite that brutal heat, Death Valley is actually incredibly rich in history. If you visit when the weather is a bit more forgiving, say between November and March, you can take in these jaw-dropping scenic vistas at Zabriskie Point. Or you can go explore some really cool historical oddities like Scotty's Castle, the Wild Rose charcoal kilns, or even wander through actual, genuine ghost towns. It's just this vast, quiet wilderness of backcountry roads waiting for you. Now, what's truly fascinating is the sheer whiplash-inducing contrast of our next destination. Literally just a short trip away from those desolate ruins is Palm Springs. Soon after World War II, Palm Springs exploded as this luxurious getaway for politicians and Hollywood celebrities. And today, it's still this vibrant hub of mid-century modern architecture. So instead of going into 120-degree survival mode, you're lounging by luxurious pools, hitting up relaxing spas, and taking in magnificent desert scenery where snow-capped mountain ridges literally mingle with springtime superblooms. It's the ultimate post-war Hollywood oasis. Moving on to Section 2, iconic coastal metropolises. We're trading the quiet of the desert for the vibrant, bustling energy of California's world-famous coastal cities. Our first stop here is Los Angeles, the second largest city in the U.S., LA is the true city of angels, right? It's where raw nature and Hollywood glamour literally collide. You've got the world-renowned landmarks like the TCL Chinese Theater and the Walk of Fame, but the coastal vibe is totally split. On one hand, you can dive into the wild, crazy, just nonstop energy of Venice Beach, or you can escape up to Malibu, which is this upscale, sandy playground totally favored by movie stars. If you're looking to spot celebrities while checking out designer stores in Beverly Hills or dining at famous spots, this is absolutely the place. Heading just a bit south, right up against the Mexican border, San Diego delivers laid-back California at its absolute finest. Even though it's the state's second largest city, it famously holds on to this amazing small-town atmosphere, completely bathed in year-round sunshine. The whole lifestyle here is tied to the outdoors. You can go from laying out on postcard-perfect beaches to exploring America's premier zoo nestled in the incredible Spanish architecture of Balboa Park. Or maybe you want to hop on a whale-watching tour before checking out the upscale, stunning beach neighborhood of La Jolla. It's got it all. Jumping way up to Northern California, we hit the commercial and cultural powerhouse of San Francisco, famously perched on that peninsula between the Pacific Ocean and San Francisco Bay. And that massive number? 746 feet. That's the tremendous height of the Golden Gate Bridge's towers. This iconic structure is easily the city's #1 attraction. It pulls in over 10 million visitors every single year, who just come to stand there and marvel at its massive scale. And honestly, the bridge perfectly captures the whole sensory experience of the city. It's not just big, it's a total masterpiece. You've got those sweeping main cables, the stunning Art Deco styling, and of course that signature international orange color that just pops against the bay. And that richness, it echoes everywhere in San Francisco. From the tight, winding curves of Lombard Street to Fisherman's Wharf, the infamous island prison of Alcatraz, and the incredible sights and sounds of the largest Chinatown outside of Asia. All right, Section 3, coastal charm and rugged beauty. We're shifting away from the massive commercial centers and hitting a stretch of the Pacific coast defined by untamed landscapes and upscale tranquility. Just about 90 minutes north of LA lies Santa Barbara, which is widely known as the American Riviera. Sitting perfectly on a pristine stretch of the central coastline, it's a huge favorite for celebrities like Oprah Winfrey and Tom Cruise. And honestly, it is so easy to see why. Santa Barbara blends the Golden State's historic Spanish influence with a wonderfully laid-back vibe and a really upscale sensibility. It does it in a way very few places can pull off. The mild year-round weather makes it absolutely perfect for soaking up the sun on East Beach's palm tree-lined sands. But if you want a piece of history, the centerpiece of the waterfront is Stearns Wharf, literally the oldest working pier in California. Picture this: renting a bike, cruising around the harbor, grabbing a fantastic meal on State Street, and just soaking in those ocean views. Whether you're there for a day trip or a long weekend, Santa Barbara is an absolute no-brainer. Continuing further up the coast, we hit Big Sur. This is a place with scenery so spellbindingly beautiful, it honestly has a habit of putting travelers into a total trance. Spanning 90 miles of rugged, dramatic coastline, right between Carmel by the Sea and San Simeon, it's this legendary magnet for road trippers. We're talking towering redwoods, untamed state parks, phenomenal hiking, and wild, untouched beaches sitting right at the very edge of the Pacific Ocean. And finally, Section 4, Sierra Nevada's Alpine Wonders. For our last geographic leap, we are leaving the ocean behind entirely and heading way up into the massive granite peaks of the Sierra Nevada mountains. This whole mountain region has a really deep legacy of outdoor appreciation. Way back in 1890, early conservation efforts led to Sequoia being established as America's second ever national park, specifically to protect its giant trees. Fast forward to 1960, and the world's eyes were back on the region when the Winter Olympics were held in Squaw Valley at Lake Tahoe, completely cementing the area as a premier global winter sports destination. Let's actually look a bit closer at Lake Tahoe, that giant blue centerpiece straddling the California-Nevada border. It is officially the largest alpine lake in North America. Surrounded by these massive granite peaks, Tahoe's snow-capped mountains are a paradise for winter skiers. But then in the summer, the locals turn out in droves to rent boats and just unwind on the water. And hey, if you just want to take a relaxing walk, a light stroll through Emerald Bay State Park is going to give you some of the absolute best, most pristine views of the entire lake. Not far from there, we find one of California's most formidable natural landscapes, Yosemite National Park. This place pulls in a staggering 4 million visitors every single year. But here's the crazy part. Even though the park is absolutely massive, the vast majority of all that tourist activity is squeezed into just the 8-square-mile area of Yosemite Valley. But the reality is, the park encompasses nearly 1,200 square miles of pure wilderness. So even with the heavy crowds down in the valley, there is a ton of space to spread out. You've got towering waterfalls, sweeping peaks like the iconic Half Dome, gleaming lakes, wild rock formations, and millennia-old sequoia trees waiting to be explored. And speaking of those massive trees, our final destination is totally dedicated to them, Sequoia National Park. The park gets its name from the Sequoia dendron giganteum, which most of us just call the giant redwood. Tucked away about 80 miles southeast of Fresno, this park was established for one specific reason: to protect these absolute giants from being completely logged, ensuring they're preserved for generations. And the crown jewel here? The General Sherman tree. Try to wrap your head around a tree that literally holds the title of the world's largest by volume. It stands a mind-boggling 275 feet tall, and its base is over 36 feet in diameter. Honestly, standing at the foot of something this massive, it just completely shifts your perspective on the natural world. But look, the park is about so much more than just staring up at the canopy. It's open every single day of the year and offers a ton of activities. You can spend your days exploring hidden caves, hitting the endless hiking trails, or even snowshoeing through a total winter wonderland. It just proves that whether you're braving the summer heat or the winter snow, every single season in California has its own spectacular charm. When you look at these 10 locations, not just as some random list, but as an actual journey through totally diverse biomes, it becomes wonderfully clear why this eclectic state is a traveler's absolute paradise. Think about it. Where else can you experience 134-degree extremes in a barren desert, casually rub shoulders with Hollywood stars in a coastal metropolis, and then go hike among towering alpine peaks and giant redwoods, all in the exact same state? It really is the ultimate, well-rounded vacation. We've seen extreme heat, we've seen Hollywood glamour, and we've toured coastlines that'll literally put you in a trance. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought to maybe spark your next adventure. From the giant redwoods of the Sierras to the desert superblooms of Palm Springs, which California will you explore first?